This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for Thursday, January 16th, 2025. I'm Marek Mazurek. The Pacers Sport and Entertainment Group plans to spend $78 million to build a dedicated training complex for the Indiana Fever on a portion of the former Marion County Jail property in downtown Indianapolis. The three-story, 108,000 square foot facility is expected to be open by May of 2027, just ahead of that year's WNBA season. The complex will be built on the northwest corner of Maryland and Alabama Streets on the western half of a property that has long been occupied by the former correctional facility, which is now being demolished. Pacers CEO Mel Raines said the growth of the WNBA makes it essential for the Fever to have a facility of their own.
With the growth of the WNBA and the Indiana Fever, it just became clear that we were going to need to update and add some of those facilities. And we're excited about what we're able to really build from the ground up to be the best performance center for female athletes, hopefully anywhere in the country, maybe anywhere in the world.
The project is being developed through an interlocal agreement between the Pacers, the City of Indianapolis, and the Capital Improvement Board of Marion County. Construction could begin as early as August. The project is expected to require approval from the Regional Center Hearing Examiner. The City of Elkhart has received the largest federal grant in the city's history from the U.S. Department of Transportation's Railroad Crossing Elimination Program. The $51 million Hively Avenue overpass project seeks to address up to 3.5 hours of traffic delays caused by about 75 trains that pass through the Hively Avenue crossing on a daily basis. The project received almost $20 million in funding from the Federal Railroad Administration. The project will see 2 at-grade crossings close and replace one crossing with a grade separation over Norfolk Southern's triple-track Chicago line. In addition to the federal grant, the Indiana Department of Transportation will contribute almost $13 million, and the City of Elkhart will provide between $10 and $12 million. The overpass will also integrate with existing local and regional trail networks, including the Maple Heart Trail and the Elkhart River Greenway, promoting improved regional connectivity. From the #1 source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
To succeed, you need to stay informed. You need to be engaged. And let's face it, you need to set yourself apart from the rest by connecting with a company that brings you the best. Because in today's environment, business is an ever-moving target, and we'll help you chase it. IBJ Media. The best of business is in us. Get started at ibjmedia.com/youngprofessional.
Since late 2022, the state of Indiana and its local communities have received more than $980 million as a result of numerous settlements tied to the nationwide opioid crisis. These settlements, agreed upon between various states and companies with a hand in opioid manufacturing, distribution, and marketing, seek to reconcile damages brought on by opioid abuse in communities across the country. The money comes as a welcome relief for many in the Hoosier state who've struggled with the crisis for decades. The difficulty now comes in deciding how best to spend the money to ease the decimation caused by opioid addiction. Funding began making its way to communities in December of 2022. Among local jurisdictions, money is divided using a weighted distribution formula, taking into account how many overdoses and overdose deaths a community has faced. Before distributing the money, the state recommends that communities conduct a local needs assessment based on overdose and mental health data and establish committees that strategize how the settlement money is handled and distributed. For more information about how Indiana communities are using that money, head to InsideIndianaBusiness.com. The president of Warsaw-based Lake City Bank has been elected to the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago's board of directors. Kristen Pruitt will serve a 3-year term, Lake City Bank said in a news release. The Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago is part of the Federal Reserve System and serves the 7th Federal Reserve District, which comprises Iowa and most of Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and Wisconsin. A reserve bank supervises state member banks, bank holding companies, and foreign banking organizations, and its 9-member board of directors provides governance and insights on economic conditions. Pruitt has served as president of Lake City Bank since 2023. Indianapolis-based Calumet Inc. has closed on a $1.44 billion loan from the U.S. Department of Energy for a major project in Montana. The company said the loan will support the construction of a renewable fuels facility owned by subsidiary Montana Renewables LLC. Calumet said the new facility will increase its annual production of sustainable aviation fuel to about 300 million gallons, as well as about 330 million gallons of combined SAF and renewable diesel fuel. The expansion is expected to create about 40 permanent jobs at the facility. Construction is slated to begin this year, and the project is expected to be fully completed by 2028. Marketing executive Trevor Yeager is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Mark Mazurek for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.